Hello, my dear friends. I'm Stanislav Shamaev, a licensed business immigration and corporate attorney in Miami, Florida. In today's video, we're going to be discussing EB-2 National Interest Waiver, the process of application and the process of getting this type of visa. At the end of this video, you will be able to learn how to get a free evaluation of your case. Let's go! But before we begin, guys, let me share a story with you. Yesterday, I held an immigration planning with one of my clients, and at the end he said, Stanislav, thank you for everything you do on YouTube. Thank you for great videos. Thank you for great content. You know, just a few words, but gives me a lot of appreciation. So please, if you watch this video, give me that love, smash that like button, subscribe to my channel because this is the best content you will find on YouTube. Nobody's sharing the insights with you the way I do. So the like button and the subscribe button. And I appreciate you guys. Stanislav, why are you talking about EB-2 National Interest Waiver again? I'm tired of this. Give me some other content. I'm gonna talk more about this visa just because this is the best way to get a green card if you have the proper education, if you have the endeavor, I call it a project, and if you bring some solution to the States that resolves some problem. That's in the national interest of the United States of America. And I know that a lot of you guys have those solutions and you have that education, or maybe you're a person of exceptional ability. So I'm going to talk about this program a lot, and I also noticed that there is not much content on YouTube about this. I'm trying to give you the best knowledge and the best understanding how this program works. And because there is not much content, you guys are so confused about this program, and I can see it. I can see your comments, I can see your questions, and that's why I'm bringing you more content on this. But let's take a step back. EB-2 National Interest Waiver Program was created to bring the educated or professionals to the United States of America who will bring something that's gonna help this country to grow, to develop, to evolve. That's why the US government is willing to sacrifice an employment spot that should go to an American and give it to you just because you're gonna bring a lot of benefit to this country. How exactly does it work? First of all, you need to file the petition EB-2 National Interest Waiver. That is a form I-140. You need to fill it out completely, and you must read the instructions on how to properly do this. Without reading the instructions, you're gonna make mistakes. So make sure you read the instructions before you do this. Also, you have to describe your case under the current criteria, under the current understanding of how this program works. And let's talk more about this. Well, first of all, you have to pre-qualify yourself for EB-2 program, for EB-2 visa. What does it mean? Well, you can do it in one out of three ways. Either you have a bachelor's degree and 5 years of experience in your specialty, meaning whatever bachelor's you got, you actually practice your bachelor degree in some project and with some employer, with your own business, whatever that is, for at least 5 years. Number two, you have master's degree and no experience necessary. Number three, if you don't have higher education or if you don't have the education in a specialty that you will bring here in the States, you may prove to the USCIS that you're a person of exceptional ability. You should watch my other videos where I talk more about this part because this is critical to understand. And about 30% of the petition that I file under EB-2 National Interest Waiver go under the exceptional ability. Don't mix it up with extraordinary ability under EB-1A classification. Those are two completely different animals, and you need to understand both in order to find the best program for yourself. Once you qualified yourself and you're like, Stanislav, okay, I got the education, don't worry, or I have an exceptional ability because I watched your videos and I know that I can satisfy at least 3 out of 6 criteria. Here where the first misconception comes in, and I hear it a lot, I read it on forums, I read it on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram. People like, okay, I got this education, I'm good to go. Well, you're good to go to the second part of analysis, but not to the program itself, because if you just file the petition like that, you're gonna get denied, okay? There's no doubt about that. So what's the second part? And I'm gonna talk a lot about it in the future. I already talked about it a lot in the past, but again, for the purpose of this video, because maybe it's the first time when you watch a video like this and like, oh my God, give me more, give me more. So there you go, I'm giving you more right now. You have to have an endeavor. What's your endeavor? I call it a project. You guys know I also speak Russian, and there is no translation of the word endeavor into Russian. Like, there is no word in my original language that perfectly carries the meaning of that word. And just because I live in the US almost 20 years, I kind of have that ability to understand the word without actually translating it into my original language. But for the purpose of this video, and maybe in your language there isn't no equivalent, endeavor is a project. What exactly you're going to be doing? What exactly you're going to be attempting to do, which is in the national interest of the states? How would you define that? Well, there must be a problem. The problem could be unemployment. The problem could be the logistics. The problem could be in ecology. The problem could be in IT technology. It could be in cybersecurity. It could be in engineering. It could be in anything. Also, there could be a lack of something. Don't look at your endeavor as a necessary solution to some existing problem. Not necessarily like that, although in many cases it's just like that. But also, there might be a lack of something, a lack of methodology, a lack of courses, a lack of training, a lack of approach, a lack of business idea, a lack of industry. It could be any scale, right? So there is something that's going on. There is a problem, or there is a lack of something that needs to be brought here in the States. The best example of a lack of something is a lack of certain technology, all right? For example, you know how to exterminate the iguanas in Florida. And you guys, you know, I hate iguanas, okay? I know they're cute, I know they look like dragons, but I hate them. Why? Because they are not natural to Florida, where I live, and they actually damage the flora and fauna in this area. And if you didn't know, the Florida government actually encourages the Florida citizen to kill iguanas. I know that sounds really weird and maybe some of you laughing, but that's the way it is. If you have the cure or some technology or something that's gonna kill the iguanas in Florida, that's gonna be your endeavor, okay? Provided you have the right education or you have 3 out of 6 criteria. You know what? If you can kill iguanas in Florida, guys, I'll do EB2 national interest for you for free, okay? Is it a deal? If you can do this, I'll bring you to the States for free. You just pay the government fee. This is not a joke. I really hate those reptilia. That's the lack of something, right? So on the example of iguanas, there's a lack of method or poison or approach how to get rid of them. There is no predators for them, and so there is no natural way of getting rid of them. Same with the pythons, right? We have a problem with the pythons. Those huge snakes in the Everglades. They even eat the alligators and the crocodiles. So if you know how to get rid of them, maybe that's your endeavor. I have nothing against pythons, so that's not gonna be free. So once you know what's the problem, or once you know what's the lack of something that you can bring, you can substitute, then we are getting to the bottom line of the endeavor, of the project. You have that solution that's gonna either resolve or help to resolve the problem, or you bringing something that there is a lack thereof, and you can create something new, create an industry, or bring a mythology, bring the technology, bring your IT startup that's gonna help the industry, and you have to describe it. You have to be very detailed. What's the problem? What's your solution? and how exactly you gonna be doing this solution, how exactly you're gonna be participating in your project. This is a very detailed explanation so the immigration officer knows exactly what's going on. And this is not it. Don't forget that you have to evaluate your education, right? This is the step one. You have to contact the American companies that do evaluation of your diploma, of your education, so we can show that it's equivalent to the American one. Also, you have to show that your past experiences, your past projects, your publications, your dissertations, your patents, your technology, your methods, you had that in the past, you applied it, and you applied it successfully. So let's say you're gonna bring some poison that is gonna kill iguanas and not gonna damage the environment. This is also very important. And you have to show me that you used that poison before. You already used it in Ghana, in Brazil, in Argentina, in Spain, in Vietnam, in Bangladesh, in Japan, doesn't matter. Where those iguanas are, you use them and you used it effectively. Why I want that? Well, just because we need to prove to the government that, hey, look, this guy already did it in the past. He has experience. Maybe he went to the conference to explain how to kill iguanas. Maybe you have a publication on chemistry, how to create this substance that kills iguanas but doesn't damage the water supply, the trees, the grass, or whatever that is, right? So we need to prove that you can do it and you can do it effectively. One of the criteria is to show that you are in a position to actually implement your project, your endeavor. And last but not least, give me 15 recommendation letters, right? People from the industry, the biologists, the chemists, and again, this is a iguana example, who's gonna say, hey, this substance is really good to kill iguanas and it's really good for the environment. Whoever can testify that your invention, your technology is good and it's attributed to you. So have those 15 recommendation letters. Once you have all that, you fill out the form I-140, you show your education, you describe your endeavor, you describe your past experiences, you show that there is a problem and that your endeavor resolves this problem or bring something that never existed here, or maybe it existed but you're gonna make it better, and all the paperwork supporting this, including the recommendation letters. So you get that package, you send it to USCIS, and you then have two options. Option number one is a regular processing, when it's gonna take up to 2 years for the USCIS to get a decision on your petition. Or you can do the expedited processing. You pay $2,500 more and your petition is gonna be adjudicated within 45 days. And I do recommend going with the expedited processing because it's just better, and this $2,500 is not worth the potential 2 years of waiting. The next thing is gonna happen. Either you get approved or you get the RFE. RFE is a request for evidence, where the officer is gonna ask for more documents or ask more questions about your petition if you did not understand something. So don't get discouraged if you get the RFE, because it doesn't mean that you won't get approved, but there is more work to do. So you read that RFE very closely and attentively and find the core of the problem. Once you establish that, and in 95% that's the national interest. If the immigration officer is going to be like, well, I don't see how killing all iguanas in Florida is going to be in the national interest of the United States of America, well, you will have to find publications, articles, research, professors' opinions, and very good, solid explanation why iguanas are damaging to the flora and fauna of Florida. And I can tell you right now, there is a lot of materials on that. That's all supposed to be in your original filing. So if for whatever reason you missed it, you'll have to supplement that with your response to the RFE. Once you're approved, there are two options you can go by. Number one, if you're in the United States of America, you can file Form I-485 and ask the US government to adjust your status from non-immigrant to the immigrant. Number two, if you're outside of the United States of America, you start the process with NVC. It actually starts automatically. In a month or two, you'll receive a letter on your email from NVC with your account number and asking you to fill out some paperwork and pay the government fee, which you do. In about 9 months from the approval, you'll have an interview in the embassy, and you will be able to include your entire family, and your family is your spouse and your children under 21 years old who are not married. If it's a mama and papa and 2 kids, all 4 will get the green cards, all right? And after you get the immigration visa and your passport in 9 months after the approval, you'll have, depending on the embassy, from 3, usually 6 months to actually cross the border and get your green card while you're doing that. The actual green card, the card, you will get in a couple of months at the address that you put in your form I-140. If you think that you qualify for EB2 National Interest Waiver, you can get a free evaluation of your case. How to do this? You go down in the description of this video and you find a link that's gonna say a free evaluation of your EB2 National Interest Waiver. You click on it, a window opens up, and you answer all the questions that are there. That's gonna be a bunch of questions, but I need all the answers with the details so I can give you the best analysis at the time allocated for that. So make sure you give me as much information about you, about your endeavor, about your education, and about everything that I ask you. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also subscribe to my Instagram, into my TikTok, and the links are in the description, so we are in touch on all platforms. I'm Stanislav Shamaev, the lawyer of the future. Your future begins here. Good luck.